Revealed how I transformed my team after my CEO father's son tried to take over in 30 days. In the small town of Maplewood, a storm was brewing, and it had nothing to do with the weather. It was personal and it was fierce. Alex, the hard-working manager, felt the weight of his father's legacy press down like a mighty stone on his chest. His dad had built a beloved tech firm, rooted deep within the community, and it was up to Alex to keep the flame alive. Yet the flame flickered uncertainly with the arrival of his half-brother, Ryan, a golden boy cloaked in privilege, arms crossed and a smirk etched into his handsome face. The moment Alex saw him swagger through the office doors, he knew things were about to change. "You're not cut out for this, little brother," Ryan drawled, charm oozing from every pore. Alex's gut twisted. He'd poured countless hours into building a cohesive team, fostering a spirit of camaraderie, yet here was Ryan, ready to stir the pot. Alex watched as Ryan carved his way through the office, whispering words dripping with poison but wrapped in silk. The laughter that had once filled the break room started to fade, replaced by uneasy murmurs, but Alex wouldn't let it end there. He remembered his father's teachings, the values of hard work, loyalty, and service to each other and the community. He gathered his team. "We're not just co-workers," he said, his voice steady. "We're family, and family stands together." Doubts began to lift. The team's eyes sparkled with renewed hope, but the fright of Ryan's schemes loomed. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let us continue. Days passed and tensions mounted. One evening, Alex stumbled upon a harrowing document hidden in the back of the conference room, a plan by Ryan to leverage his family connections to oust Alex and remodel the firm into a greedy empire, devoid of their father's principles. Heart-pounding, Alex felt the taste of betrayal bitter on his tongue. They were on the precipice of losing everything their father stood for. The showdown came unexpected, words like daggers exchanged between brothers, a jab to the heart and ego. "Let us be real, Alex. Without Dad, you're nothing." Those words stung. Doubts clouded Alex's mind, years of hard work flashing before his eyes. But just as he felt himself wavering, a light flickered from an unexpected ally, a team member standing up, igniting a torch of courage in the dim room. "In this family, we don't give up. We fight for what's right." That voice, it was a reminder of their cause, a reminder that they could reinvent their legacy together. The room buzzed with energy, each person adding their voice to the rallying cheer. As the community watched, Alex knew this wasn't just about defeating Ryan. It was about coming together to embody the principles their father cherished. Could they overcome the gnarled finger of privilege, or were they fated to fall before the shadows of deceit? Alex's heart thundered with resolve. This was just the beginning. He would fight, with every ounce of resilience, for the values that made their family and community strong. The real battle was about to begin, and it was a fight for legacy. The air was thick with tension as Alex faced his team. He could sense their anxiety mirrored in his own. Each person stood ready, unified by purpose, but the shadow of Ryan loomed larger than ever. Whispers about Ryan's plans circulated like wildfire, each hushed conversation adding fuel to Alex's determination. They couldn't allow the dreams of their father to crumble before them. The next day, Alex called for an emergency team meeting. The usual buzz of laughter and banter was replaced by anxious glances and quiet murmurs. There was fear, but also an undercurrent of something powerful and unshakable resolve. "We need to equip ourselves," Alex said, his voice breaking the silence. "I want every idea, every strategy we can come up with to counter what he's planning. This isn't just about us keeping our jobs. It's about protecting what our dad built." As they brainstormed, something unexpected happened. Their spirits began to lift. One team member, Sarah, who typically shied away from conflict, bravely proposed they focus on community projects to showcase the company's commitment to the values their father cherished. "What if we get back in touch with our customers?" she suggested. "We could hold an event to remind the town why we started this company in the first place." The idea sparked excitement, igniting creativity in the room. They spent hours reimagining the company's community involvement, rekindling memories of past events, and stirring a collective passion that Rick had fostered. But Alex couldn't shake off the weight of Ryan's arrival. Every moment felt like a race against time. As they prepared their plan, Alex longed to confront Ryan head-on, but he also knew that battling him directly would mean risking everything they built together. Instead, he decided to take the high road, an approach instilled in him by his father. "We'll show the community what we stand for through actions, not words." The night before their big community event, they gathered at the office for final preparations. There was an undeniable buzz, a mix of excitement and nervousness that electrified the air. They painted banners, arranged chairs, and set up booths, pouring their hearts into every detail. It felt like a fresh start, a chance to rise above the chaos Ryan had introduced. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the office, Alex received an unexpected call. It was from one of their biggest clients, concerned about Ryan's ambitions. "We've heard some unsettling news," Alex, the voice on the other end, said, urgency thick in their tone. "Are you prepared for what might happen?" The weight of those words sunk deep into Alex's heart. Doubts flickered again. Was their community event enough? As he hung up, the resolve he had felt earlier wavered. Ryan was playing a game that not only threatened his business, but threatened the very soul of what they stood for. With the event only hours away, Alex gathered his team once more, searching for strength in their camaraderie. "Tomorrow is not just about showing who we are as a business. It's about showing who we are as a family," he reminded them. But as he glanced at their determined faces, he wondered if it would be enough. Would their efforts triumph over Ryan's power plays? Would Maplewood stand behind Alex and his vision? The anticipation hummed in the air, and Alex couldn't shake the feeling that the real battle was about to unfold, not just for a company, but for the heart of their community. Suddenly, the door swung open, and there stood Ryan, a smirk plastered on his face and a ring of friends behind him, ready to turn the tide. What did he have planned, and how would they respond? Ryan's arrival felt like a sudden storm breaking out on a clear day. His presence was electric, pulling the room's energy tight. Alex locked eyes with him, a silent challenge hanging in the air. Behind Ryan stood his entourage, laughter spilling from their lips as if they were at a party rather than an office set for a community event. "How quaint," Ryan said, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "Look at you all, trying to save a sinking ship." Alex's heart pounded. He expected a show of force, but seeing Ryan so relaxed only amplified his determination. "What do you want, Ryan?" he asked, forcing calm into his voice. "Isn't it obvious?" Ryan stepped inside, stroking the edge of a banner. "I came to offer you a deal. It would be a shame if your little event flopped hard in front of everyone in Maplewood." His friends snickered, making Alex's anger boil just below the surface. "We're not interested in whatever you have to offer," Alex retorted. "We're here to show this community who we really are." Ryan raised an eyebrow, clearly unimpressed. "Community, huh? That's all well and good, but let us face it. Without power and money, those values won't keep your doors open for long." He stepped closer, his voice lowering. "You know that." Within Alex, a spirit of defiance ignited. He turned to his team, who stood behind him with a mix of steely resolve and simmering fear. "We stand by our father's vision, not by the hollow promises of greed." Ryan folded his arms, confidence radiating from him. "Isn't that nice? But it won't mean a thing once I unveil my plans tomorrow. You'll all see just how much I can offer this town." The tension in the room shifted. Alex could feel the uncertainty creeping back in some of his teammates. They were strong, but Ryan's tactics were unsettling. To him, this wasn't a game, it was a fight for survival. "Let him talk," Sarah whispered to Alex, her determined eyes betraying nothing but advice. "We'll show him tomorrow." Alex nodded, drawing strength from her words. "No matter what happens, we have each other." We'll prove him wrong. The determination was palpable. They were in this together. With Ryan's presence dominating the room, Alex felt the hours ticking down until the event. They still had a plan, and while doubt lingered, so did hope. They were ready to display their commitment to the community, even if Ryan was hell-bent on tearing it down. As Ryan finally turned to leave, he cast a lingering glance over his shoulder. "Good luck tomorrow, you'll need it," he said, a wicked grin spreading across his face. With the door clicking shut, a heavy silence filled the room. Alex gathered his team once more, their faces drawn but determined. "Tomorrow, let us show Maplewood who we are and why we matter," he encouraged, his voice stronger than ever. Their nods reassured him. It might not be enough to protect everything they held dear, but it was a start. As they went back to their tasks, each person focused again on what they could control. Alex couldn't shake the feeling that Ryan's next move would shake them to their core. The sun would rise, but would it bring light or dark? Would the community respond to their call, or would Ryan's smirk prove to be the harbinger of their downfall? Tomorrow waited like a predator, and Alex knew he had to be ready for the unexpected. The morning light spilled into the room, warm but also bruised by the weight of uncertainty. Alex glanced at his phone, just a few hours left until the event. His stomach turned with a mix of anticipation and dread. It felt as though the entire town's future hung in the balance, and here he was, gearing up to fight an invisible monster. As he made his way to the meeting space, he could hear the chatter of his team, a soothing hum against the rising tension. He entered to find Sarah flipping through the schedules, while Jackson and Mia were setting up tables with vibrant brochures that showcased their community initiatives. Alex felt a flicker of hope at their energy. "Hey, ready to shake things up today?" he asked, forcing a smile. "Always," Mia said, her fingers flying over the papers, arranging them just right. "We've put in the work," Jackson added, nodding. "We just need them to see it." Alex was about to reply when the door burst open and Mrs. Hill, the community board chair, rushed in, her face flushed. "Alex, you won't believe it. I just got word that Ryan's team is distributing flyers all over town this morning. He's trying to draw everyone to his event and away from ours." A wave of anger surged through him, hot and sudden. "What kind of tactics are those?" he grumbled, clenching his fists. "He's trying to sabotage us right before the big day?" Sarah stepped forward, an unyielding glimmer in her eye. "We can't let him get to us. We're stronger together, remember? We fight back with our own heart, our own truth." The determination in her voice ignited something in him. "You're right. We have something he doesn't." Alex took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of camaraderie fill the room. "We have authentic connections with this community. We can't let fear dictate our actions." Just then, a few board members trickled in, their expressions apprehensive. They were clearly unsettled by the news. Alex could see it in their eyes. "Listen up," he said, raising his voice slightly to capture everyone's attention. "I know things are heating up, but today is about us and our vision for Maplewood. It's about what we can accomplish if we unite as a community. We have so much good to offer, and we cannot let Ryan's schemes derail that." There were nods of agreement, and with each passing second, the atmosphere shifted from hesitation to resolve. "Let us break into teams. We'll hit the streets first," he continued, the words racing out as excitement surged through him. "Canvass the neighborhood. Hand out our flyers. Talk to people. Remind them why we matter. Help them understand that our event isn't just about us, it's for all of Maplewood." His team sprang into action, the energy electric as they rallied around him, eager to prove themselves. Laughter and shouts of encouragement filled the air, pushing back the looming shadows Ryan had cast. As they spilled out into the streets, Alex felt a tug in his heart. The community had always been a tapestry woven with diverse stories. Today, they would weave the strongest thread yet. Hours flew by in a whirlwind of connection, handshakes, smiles, and shared hopes for the future replaced any lingering doubt. As the sun began to set, bathing Maplewood in a golden hue, Alex felt a renewed confidence. But just as hope blossomed, a figure in a tailored suit caught his eye across the street. Ryan, standing with a few of his supporters, watching with a calculating smirk. His heart thudded. The battle wasn't over yet, it was only just beginning. "Okay, team," Alex said, grounding himself. "Let us finish strong. We're not just fighting for an event, we're fighting for who we are." As they turned to head back, Alex realized that whatever Ryan had planned next might be monumental. But as long as they stood united, they had a chance to defy the odds. Could they really shift the narrative today? What was Ryan's endgame, and how far would he go to claw back control? As the team huddled together outside their meeting space, Alex sensed the weight of what lay ahead. The sunset painted the skies in hues of orange and pink, but there was urgency in his heart. "All right, everyone," he called, checking to see that everyone's eyes were on him. "Let us make a final push. We've got to remind people why they want to be part of our vision." The streets bustled with the community's energy as they scattered, each taking their corner, armed with flyers and hope. Alex felt the adrenaline coursing through him. He approached a group of neighbors by the park, their laughter ringing like music in the air. "Hey, folks," he called out, waving his arms to get their attention. "We're excited about the community event tomorrow. It's all about building a better Maplewood together." He caught the eyes of Mr. Thompson, the local butcher, a well-loved figure in town known for his homemade sausages. Mr. Thompson smiled, and Alex felt a surge of warmth. "I heard the other side is trying to pull some fast ones. But your team, they care about us," he grunted, crossing his arms. "Exactly," Alex replied, grateful for the support. "We're not just here for an event. We're here to listen, to connect, and to grow." The sound of laughter and conversation surrounded them, and that familiar spark ignited in his chest. Each interaction fanned that flame. As Alex moved from one group to another, he heard tales of community pride and collective dreams. It was intoxicating. He was reminded of why they were fighting. It wasn't just against Ryan, it was for every story, every laugh, and every challenge that had forged Maplewood into what it was. But as they all gathered back at the meeting space to regroup, an unsettling silence gripped the room. "What now?" Jackson asked, his brow furrowed. "We got a lot of support today, but Ryan's not backing down." Alex took a deep breath, recalling the smirk he had seen earlier. "We need to anticipate his next move," he replied. "He'll try to outmaneuver us. But what if we turn the tables? What if we surprised him?" Mia's expression brightened, curiosity dancing in her eyes. "What do you have in mind?" "I think it's time we reveal our plans for the event sooner than later. Let us invite the community to join us, to participate in shaping the future of Maplewood right there at the event." A flicker of fear crossed his mind, but that was quickly overshadowed by determination. "Let us make it a celebration of what we can achieve together. We can use our voice, our stories as the anchor." The room buzzed with energy again, each person catching the vision and starting to throw out ideas on how to engage the community. Suddenly, Sarah raised a hand, a serious look on her face. "But what if Ryan tries to sabotage us even more? What if he pulls something at the event?" "Then we'll have to be prepared," Alex said, that familiar feeling of dread creeping back in. "We'll need a plan. We'll need to protect what we've built." If we can get the community to stand with us. Just then, the door swung open and Mrs. Hill rushed in, her face pale. "You need to see this," she gasped, her voice trembling. In her hands, she held a newspaper. The headline screamed, "Ryan's scheme exposed. Dictionary of Deception revealed." Alex's heart raced. What did this mean? Was this the moment they'd been waiting for, or would it lead to greater chaos? As the team crowded around to read the article, tension hummed in the air, and one unsettling thought lingered. Would this expose be the lifeline they needed, or a new twist in the fight for their dream? The room fell silent as everyone absorbed the gravity of what Mrs. Hill had just revealed. The bold letters screamed betrayal, and it sent a wave of anxiety rippling through the group. Alex felt the weight of their gaze, as if each pair of eyes lit a fire under him, demanding answers. "What does it say?" Jackson finally broke the silence, leaning in closer to inspect the newspaper. Mrs. Hill's hands shook as she unfolded the paper, revealing the sprawling article filled with bold claims and damning evidence against Ryan, evidence that hinted at corruption in his dealings and manipulation of community resources. It talks about how Ryan misused funds and twisted facts to gain support, she managed to say, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex's heart raced. This was the kind of ammunition they needed, but he couldn't shake the feeling that this could backfire as easily as it could help. What do we do with this? He asked, a new sense of urgency creeping in. Mia piped up, her voice tinged with excitement and concern. Maybe we can leverage this at the event tomorrow. If people see that Ryan has been deceitful, they might rally behind us. But what if he flips it on us? Sarah's concern was palpable. What if he says we're attacking him out of desperation? He knows how to play the game, and there are folks who will follow him blindly. The tension turned into a swirling debate. Ideas bounced back and forth, each suggestion met with enthusiasm, but also skepticism. Alex watched as his friends and allies pressed on, their voices rising like an orchestra tuning up for a performance. Every word ignited a mix of hope and fear within him. Catching his breath, Alex raised his hand. The room quieted down. Look, I know this is a lot to take in. This exposes Ryan's lies, but we need to tread carefully. We can't just throw mud and hope it sticks. We need to be strategic. What do you suggest? Jackson asked, crossing his arms with determination. We build a narrative, Alex replied, locking eyes with each member of his team. Let us show the community that this isn't just about Ryan. It's about us, about our vision, our stories, and our future. We need to take this exposure and turn it into a rallying point about what Maplewood can become together. As he spoke, the mood shifted. Their expressions transformed from concern to spark. The idea that they could use the truth as a foundation rather than a weapon intrigued them. They began brainstorming, the energy in the room palpable as they conceived ways to incorporate this twist into the fabric of the event. Just then, his phone buzzed in his pocket. Alex pulled it out, quickly scanning the screen. A message from Mia popped up. We need to think about contingencies too. What if Ryan retaliates? Keeps the pressure on, he typed back, feeling the weight of her concern. But we stand united. No turning back. Suddenly, the door creaked open again, and another neighbor peeked in. It was Mrs. Gonzalez, her expression one of deep worry. I heard the news, and I'm afraid Ryan's people are already stirring the pot. Some folks are confused. They need clarity. Alex felt that familiar surge of urgency again. We can't let this derail us. We have to gather our stories and support before the event. We need everyone out there, ready to show that the heart of Maplewood beats because of community, not deceit. As the group nodded, stronger than before, Alex felt a new determination form within him. They were in this together, and tomorrow they would stand together. But as he looked at the newspaper one last time, dread began to creep in again. What if Ryan had a final trick up his sleeve? What if everything they built was about to be challenged in ways they could never expect? The sun was beginning to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows across the room. The group fell into a hasty silence, each member lost in their thoughts about the impending event. As the last rays of light faded, Alex could feel the ticking clock in his chest, a constant reminder of the pressure mounting around them. Okay, everyone, let us outline our plan before we lose the daylight, Alex urged, grabbing a marker and heading over to a large whiteboard that leaned against the wall. What is our key message? Hope, Mia suggested immediately, her eyes sparkling with certainty. We need to focus on hope for our community. Right, Alex said, writing it down. Hope. But also accountability. We can't just shy away from the truth. We need to show the importance of holding leaders accountable for their actions. I love that, Jackson chimed in. We can create an emotional arc for everyone. Something that shows how community should thrive together, not be divided or controlled by someone who thinks he owns it. Yes, let us remind everyone of our roots. What brought us all together in the first place, Sarah added, her excitement spilling over. As they constructed their narrative, the energy in the room shifted dramatically. The initial anxiety had evaporated, replaced by a fervor that made Alex feel like they were unstoppable. Their thoughts wove together into a powerful tapestry, each thread richer than the last. "Wait," Mia said suddenly, her brows furrowing. "What if Ryan tries to distort our message? If he says we're the ones causing division?" They exchanged uneasy glances. It was a valid concern. Ryan was capable of anything, and they all knew it. "We counteract by sharing personal stories," Alex offered, his voice steady. "Every person out there has a reason to fight back. We share how important our community is to us. Family, friends, their strength in our stories." "Yeah, real stories," Jackson agreed. "Like people losing their homes because of mismanagement. People who have worked their whole lives to build this community. We have to get their voices in front of everyone." Mia nodded eagerly. "We can do video clips or testimonials. Why not showcase those who are the backbone of Maplewood?" The wheels were turning now, each idea igniting a spark in Alex's heart. The warmth of their unity wrapped around him like a blanket against a chilling wind. It felt like they were on the edge of something monumental. "Who should we reach out to?" Alex asked, fueled by a genuine rush of hope. Before they could respond, Alex's phone buzzed again. It was Mia, but this time she sent a video clip. He quickly played it, eyes widening as Ryan appeared, smiling arrogantly as he justified his actions. "What a charmer, huh?" Jackson hissed, glowering at the screen. "Should we respond?" Sarah asked cautiously. Alex knew at that moment they had a decision to make. Do they let Ryan's rhetoric go unchallenged? Or do they take a bold stand, putting themselves at the front lines of battle? "We have to go public. We need to be louder than him," Alex said, feeling the fire of conviction surging through him. But in the pit of his stomach, the dread returned. Ryan would fight back, and the stakes were rising. How far was he willing to go to protect what they had built? Would they be able to hold their ground, or would it all crumble under pressure? As his friends leaned in with determination etched on their faces, Alex's heart raced. The fight was just beginning, and he wasn't too sure if they were truly ready for the storm ahead. But for every second they hesitated, the ground beneath them seemed to shake ever so slightly, an ominous reminder that Ryan was not done. What new tricks did he have hidden up his sleeve? The room was charged, an electric tension hanging in the air. Alex felt the pulse of his friend's energy, fear and determination intertwining like the flickering shadows cast by the fading light. Mia broke the silence, her voice trembling slightly. "So we go public. But how? What is our first step?" "Let us organize an emergency town hall," Jackson suggested, his dark brows knitting together. "Gather everyone, create an open forum. We'll present our message, listen to their stories, show them they're not alone." "Love that idea," Sarah added, her enthusiasm breaking through. "But we need to give them time to share. If we rush the message, we might just get drowned out by Ryan's voice." "Exactly," Alex replied, feeling the momentum shift towards something actionable. "It can't just be us speaking at them. We need to create a dialogue, a place for them to express their fears and hopes." Their eyes sparkled with shared purpose. It was more than a plan, it was a lifeline. The thought of the community coming together sent a surge of warmth through him. But what if Ryan tries to sabotage the meeting? Mia's voice quivered, worry flickering in her gaze. "We can't let fear dictate our choices," Alex said firmly. "If we show up with integrity and heart, it'll be harder for him to twist our words. Besides, we'll have our stories to back us up." "True. And it's not just about us," Jackson said. "We can invite those affected by the mismanagement, families losing their homes, workers struggling to get by. Their stories will resonate louder than any slick narrative Ryan can put out." In that moment, a wave of clarity washed over Alex. They didn't just have a plan, they had the power of authenticity, truth in its rawest form. People were ready to fight for their livelihood, and it all started with their voices. "Then it's settled," Alex said, his resolve taking shape. "We'll organize the town hall. We'll use social media, flyers, get those stories out there, and spread the word." As they divvied up responsibilities, Alex felt both exhilarated and terrified. This was their chance to shine, yet the uncertainty loomed like a storm cloud overhead. Hours passed as they finalized details, fueled by coffee and determination. The sun dipped lower, drawing deep shadows across their drawings and notes. Suddenly, Alex's phone buzzed again. It was a text from Ryan. "Don't you dare try to take my spotlight. This is your one and only warning." Anger surged within him, his heart pounding like a drum. "He's playing mind games with us," Alex said, eyebrows knitting together. "We have to be smart," Sarah cautioned, a pained look passing over her features. "He could make this ugly." A chill swept through the group, the weight of their task crashing down like a heavy wave. Still, Alex squared his jaw, resolve surging through him. "We'll show him how strong we are together. Transparency, vulnerability, that's our strength." As they prepared to leave, Mia turned to him, a flicker of doubt clouding her eyes. "What if we fail? What if it all goes wrong?" "Failure isn't the worst thing," Alex replied, his voice steady. "Not trying is. We're doing this for our community. We owe it to them to fight for what's right." He could see the fire reignite in her eyes, hope mingling with fear, but ready to forge ahead. They stepped outside, the crisp air hitting them like a reminder of their mission, and Alex took a deep breath. "Tomorrow is just the beginning," he said as they walked towards their cars. "But we must be prepared for anything. Ryan isn't going to sit back and let us take this away from him." As they drove off, resolved to face the fight ahead, a question lingered in Alex's mind. How far would Ryan go to silence their voices? As the night deepened, he knew the answer was closer than they thought. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a golden hue over the town as Alex and his friends gathered the next morning. Nervous excitement buzzed in the air. Posters and flyers were taped to walls, fluttering slightly in the breeze, each one bearing the same clear message: Community Town Hall, together we rise. The four of them arrived early, preparing the small community center for their meeting. Tables were pushed together, chairs set up in a semicircle, their shadows stretching lazily across the floor as early attendees trickled in. The smell of fresh coffee mingled with the sweetness of pastries laid out on a table, a small gesture meant to ease the tension. "Do you think people will actually show up?" Mia asked, wringing her hands. Her voice held a mixture of hope and lingering anxiety. "Of course they will," Alex replied, trying to keep his optimism bright. "They need this. We all do." As more chairs filled, a sense of camaraderie began to settle in. Neighbors exchanged nervous smiles, recognizing one another, some clutching protest signs while others carried flyers with community resources. Each face told a story, echoed the same concerns. Alex felt the space shift. The weight of their shared experiences could either strengthen them or break them apart. When the clock struck 7, Jackson stepped forward, voice steady. "Thank you all for coming. We're here today because we believe in fighting for our community, not just for ourselves, but for everyone impacted by Ryan's actions." The sound of murmurs filled the space. People leaned in closer, eyes brightening at the validation of the struggles they faced. Mia spoke next, her words powerful yet tender. "We want to hear from you. Your stories matter. This isn't just about what Ryan is doing, it's about what we can do together." Fingers tapped pens nervously against notepads as a wave of hands shot up when they invited attendees to share. Stories poured out. A single mother spoke about losing her home, tears glistening as she described her struggle to provide for her 2 kids. A local business owner detailed how fear of closure pushed him to brink, faced with Ryan's looming power. Their raw honesty forged an electric connection within the room. As stories unfolded, Alex felt tears pricking his own eyes. There was strength here, a resilience he hadn't fully grasped during their late-night planning sessions. Each voice revealed threads of unity, woven together by shared pain and determination. This was what they had fought to protect. However, in the corner of the room, Alex's heart sank as he spotted a familiar figure. Ryan stood, arms crossed, a smirk dancing on his lips as he surveyed the crowd. The laughter and hope in the air seemed to die on impact. An ominous shadow loomed over them. "Looks like our little meeting has turned into a pity party," Ryan called out, his voice ringing with arrogance. Eyes turned, Whispers erupted, and the energy shifted dangerously. Jackson squared his shoulders, ready to counter. This is about our community. We want to let you bully us, Ryan. The crowd stood as one, murmurs of agreement echoing through the room. But Alex felt uncertainty rising again, just as it had in Mia's eyes the night before. Keep your voices down, or you'll regret it, Ryan warned, his tone dripping with menace, but the sound of unity shouted louder. Caught between hope and fear, Alex realized they stood at a crossroads. Would they let Ryan scare them back into silence? Or would they find the strength they had witnessed in one another? The crowd buzzed, filled with a mix of defiance and uncertainty. As Ryan stood waiting for their reaction, Alex sensed the moment thickening like a storm about to break. He wondered if they could harness that raw energy or if the pressure would push them apart. What are we going to do? He thought urgently, scanning the anxious faces around him. This was their moment to choose. As the room hummed with tension, Alex felt a surge of determination flow through him. This was the climactic moment they'd prepared for, the ultimate test of their collective spirit. The air crackled with electricity, every heartbeat resonating with the weight of what they were fighting for. Listen, Alex said, raising his voice to cut through the doubts that slithered like shadows among them. This isn't just about Ryan. It's about our lives, our families, and our dreams. We've shared our stories, and now it's time to stand together. A ripple of applause washed over the crowd, emboldening others to lift their voices alongside him. We won't let anyone bully us. Someone shouted. Another voice chimed in, he is trying to divide us, but we're stronger together. The energy in the room shifted, buoying Alex's heart as he felt the tide turn. They were no longer just scared individuals facing a threat. They became a symphony of shared hopes, and with each word, their courage grew. Turning to face Ryan, Alex steeled himself. You think we're helpless? You can't bully us into submission. We are Maplewood, built on family and integrity, and we'll fight for that truth. Ryan's smirk faltered, a flicker of irritation darting across his face. You really think this town would rally behind you? They're not stupid, he spat, crossing his arms tighter. Then, something remarkable happened. One by one, community members stood up, each claiming their space. They offered their tales of strength, courage, and resilience as the crowd rallied around them, voices unified in harmony against Ryan's disruptive presence. A father spoke about how the company provided jobs for people like him. A mother tearfully shared how the community supported her through tough times. The threads of connection grew stronger, wrapping around Alex's heart, filling him with hope that hadn't felt possible just days prior. Ryan's bravado began to crack. You'll regret this, he warned, but the voices of the community drowned him out, each word pushing back against his arrogance. Enough. Jackson stepped forward, his voice breaking through the chaotic symphony. Ryan, this isn't a pity party, this is a moment of strength. You may think you can take what makes us a family, but you can't own our hearts. The crowd erupted in applause, an undeniable wave of unity washing over them. Your games are over, Mia added, sparking further cheers. We know who you are, the deceit, the lies. And we want to let that win. The energy shifted again, a tidal wave of determination surged through the community, reaffirming their commitment to stand up for each other. Every worry, every fear began to dissipate, replaced with a conviction that glittered like the morning sun breaking through storm clouds. But Ryan, cornered and desperate, flicked his gaze back and forth, hunting for traction. This isn't over. He spat as he backed toward the door, his confident facade no longer holding. Come back any time to face our truth. Alex shouted, the crowd roaring in applause, solidifying their strength. The resolve of their voices ricocheted through the walls, making even Ryan flinch as he slipped out of the building, leaving behind nothing but an echo of his defeat. As the doors closed, a wave of relief swept through Alex. They had done it, they had stood side by side, refusing to crumble under threats. He turned to his team, their eyes glistening with pride. Together, we're more than just a team. We're family. Laughter and cheers erupted, lighting the room like fireworks after a long storm. Families embraced, friends exchanged high fives, and the atmosphere bubbled with hope and renewed vision. Rachel, a local elder who had witnessed both the community's ebb and flow, nodded in agreement. "You've done something remarkable today. You've reminded us all what Maplewood stands for." Alex felt a lump in his throat, his heart swelling with joy. This moment, the unity they had cultivated, was a testament to their father's legacy. Days later, the community event blossomed into a celebration of resilience, a rallying point for everyone who had come together. As laughter filled the air and stories were shared once more, the spirit of their father emanated through his son, reigniting the flame that Ryan had tried to extinguish. "What a journey," Alex whispered to Mia, who stood beside him, her smile radiant. "And this is just the beginning." With a sense of purpose renewed, the heart of Maplewood began to beat louder than ever, emboldened by the strength found in togetherness, hope, and love. The legacy was alive once more, brighter and more vibrant than Ryan could have ever imagined. Don't let this moment fade. You need to subscribe now to catch every pulse of Maplewood's journey. Leave a like now to fuel our story's visibility. Comment below with your thoughts on this transformation. Your voice matters, too. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see what community can achieve together. Your support is vital. Let us keep this amazing journey going.